Hi everyone, I am Annaliza Enrique and welcome to my presentation about making sense of leadership. At the end of the session, we learn to know our strength as a change leader, explore the 5 key roles used by effective leader, and define 5 valuable leadership rules and discuss each role. Have you ever been rate your leadership ability? Just like who you are, who you know, what you feel, where you've been, what you've done, what you can do, and what to do with your life. If not, let's make sense of our leadership. In making sense of leadership, authors Esther Cameron and Mike Green asked if leadership is making something happen that would not have otherwise happened. What is it that leaders must pay attention to? They came up with 5 naturally occurring areas of concern. Discomfort. What's not working? Where is the organization hurting? Buy-in. How is it possible to harness the human resources and talent around the organization and inspire, motivate, and engage people? We have connectivity. How do we ensure that the organization knows enough about itself and the purpose of competencies and is well connected enough to be able to self-organize and change in a healthy, responsive way when it needs to? The project. What needs to be done to manage key projects and ensure that all the necessary resources are acquired and that the project is delivered right and on time when it needs to? The last, when you step into a leadership position, the world changes and things will never quite the same again. People begin to have great expectation of you, and you begin to take on a strange and wonderful new role in relation to others. Sometimes, this happens from the inside out. A new role appears at your fingertips as if by magic. Perhaps a parent, or a previous boss, or a teacher has subtly invaded your psyche as a role model, and you begin to take on their mantle. But maybe you lack the right role models, and you have to work at things a bit harder. You try to develop your leadership approach from the outside in. We believe leaders need to develop our capacity to tune into an organizational system and get a good sense of what the organization needs in terms of leadership, rather than do what they did last time or do what the boss is telling them to do. By having a better sense of the approaches open to them and the effects of these approaches, leaders have more real choices available when it comes to the crunch moments. After the crunch moments come more often than many leaders imagine. Later on, I will introduce to you the 5 valuable leadership roles that leaders can experiment with as if they were making a recipe. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, plus a huge dollop of this according to who you're cooking for. Your personal preference, the available ingredients, and what sort of day and season of the year it is. Leadership is about stepping forward and doing something that otherwise wouldn't be done. It's about putting your head above the parapet or making your neat mark on a blank sheet of paper. Leadership is not a skill that can be acquired in a purely behavioral way by segmenting, out-coaching or presenting or influencing, and then focusing on that in a purely cognitive sense. It's much deeper and broader than that. By experimenting in this way, leaders can start to widen their sense of what roles they can master and therefore what they can achieve. The more we can allow individuals to recognize that leading is far more than applying a set of skills in a mechanistic manner, the better and more successful organizations will be. These areas of focus were then paired with 5 shifting roles used by leaders to deal with each of these areas of concern. Leaders must draw their cues from the environment in which they lead. These roles are 1. Edgy catalyzer, visionary motivator. The third one is tenacious implementer. And the last one is thoughtful architect. Now understand the 5 roles. The first one is the edgy catalyzer, focuses on discomfort, asks difficult questions, spots dysfunctions or resistance, creates tension for change. This type of leader is the leader who smells a rat and points out it. This person is an intelligent agitator who spots real problems, especially if they are hard to face, and adds the right amount of tension and pressure to ensure that the difficulty is addressed. This process is likely to feel quite uncomfortable for those involved. But the secret of the edgy catalyzer is that he or she doesn't get stressed out by conflict. In fact, this type of leader is happier when there is discomfort and a need for action in the air. Here are some of the well-known edgy catalyzer. 1 is Hillary Clinton. The second one is Alex Ferguson, followed by Sir Alan Sugar. The next one is a tenacious implementer. Delivery to time, quality, and budget is the main focus of the tenacious implementer. They believe that when day-to-day delivery is on track, organizations tend to experience success. The tenacious implementer makes sure things get done. In this role, the leader is seen as the driving force for the implementation of the agreed plan. This is often described as the classic project manager or program manager role. These leaders are renowned for their ability to mobilize other people in service of a plan. They know the milestones, understand the key aims, and are au fait with enough of the technical information behind the project that they can be useful integrator at a top level when needed. Tenacious implementers are logical, good with facts and detail, able to think strategically and look ahead, but very much focused on making something significant happen and make it sustainable. They are not happy until all the necessary elements are in place, including documentation and final reviews, restless and full of a pragmatic brand of energy. They thrive on long hours and lots of technical challenges, and they particularly enjoy being invited to sort out a big technical or managerial mess. Warren Buffett is a key exemplar of this role, one of the richest business inventors in the world. He is very pragmatic, focused, and tough-minded, and certainly someone who doesn't subscribe to the cult of celebrity. He obsesses about getting things right and is willing to persevere until that happens. He gets very involved and closely monitors all of his transactions and contributes his business savvy however he can. He maintains that he doesn't ever invest in a business that he doesn't understand.